What's going on, guys? Snaggy here, and it's time to review round 23 of the 2024 NRL season. And I said it before, I'll say it again. How good is rugby league at the moment? Wow. We had some absolute crackers, couple of poo slingers. But overall, man, there were so many games. I was just literally on the edge of my seat screaming on my own. I'm sitting there on my own. My family's away for the weekend. I'm screaming at the TV. Come on, man. How good is rugby league? Absolutely love it. All right, guys. So in this video, we'll go over all the games. We'll have obviously look at the ladder, the run home for a lot of teams to see who's going to finish where, what, where, when, all that sort of stuff, guys. And as always, let me know how you did on the punt this weekend. Let me know if there's any bangers you hit, on the punt, or let me know how you went on the tips as well. We went 6 for, and we were 4 from 8 on the punt as well with our double up. So break even. Obviously, I'm never happy to break even, but it's better than losing. I always said, I've had a couple years where I've just I've put X amount of money into my sports bet account or whatever over the years, and at the end of it, you're about where you started, and you're like, well, could have been worse. That money could have been gone, so not too bad, guys, but yeah, let's go. But actually, just first, I watch Levels podcasts from time to time. I don't catch it all the time, but I see them pumping these energy drinks, these BSC ones, and they talk them up so hard. And I just saw them down the shop, so I was like, got to give one a crack and see if Willie Mason and Hoddle are sellouts or these are actually good, because they talk them up like they're the bee's knees. Damn. I was hoping I could call Willie Mason a sellout. Nah, they're wow, that's legit. What flavour is that? Berry Burst. God damn. That's good. On sale now at Woolies, $3.99. No, $3, I think. Something like that. All right. Let's get into it. Melbourne Storm defeat the Bunnies 28-16. Sharkies violate the Titans. Didn't see that one coming. I thought they were going to win, but that was unexpected. Game of the century. That didn't matter. What's the matter, Parramatta? Can't wait to talk about that game. Penrith Panthers get it done against the Eels 36-34. By the way, guys, I'm not going to be talking about the obstructions and all that sort of stuff. I just talk about the footy. I don't care what the refs did. I don't care if there's bad calls. We just get on with it. Seagulls get it done against the Raiders. Broncos, wow, absolutely shock the world. We'll shock Australia anyway. Shock Queensland. We'll say shock Queensland. 42-18. Bulldogs, great performance. Can't wait to talk about that as well. 28-10. Dolphins get it done against the Warriors. An absolute cracker. Yeah, man, Warriors, poor Warriors. And the Knights get it done against Tigers. Now, I'm not previewing the full round because I didn't see this game. I had an airport run to do. I had to go pick up the fam from the airport, and I completely missed it. Caught a couple highlights, but look, the game didn't really matter anyway. It panned out how we thought it was going to pan out, but we'll brush over it. But just a quick heads up, guys. If you're hanging out to the end of the video to see me chat about the Knights and the West Tigers, probably just skip this video, lads. Skip this video. All right, let's have a look-see at the ladder. Look at this, lads. Fight for the minor premiership next weekend. Storm versus the Penny Panthers. 1 game apart. For and against almost identical. So whoever wins this one is on top. Unless Panthers win it by 2 points, then Storm will still be on top. So would they too? So they'll go up to 66 and that'd come down to 67. Yeah, it'd be close, but crazy. Roosters, Sharks, Bulldogs all keep their positions in 3rd, 4th and 5th. Seagulls move up to 6th. But they really fumbled the bag here, the Cows. Really fumbled the bag. They're in such good position. They're still technically... Oh, no, they're not, because they've got that half game in front of them. They're still in great position to make the finals, but they fumbled it. They fumbled it. Dolphins move back up into the 8. I'm stoked about that. I sort of wanted Dragons to make it because they've sort of been not great for a while. It'd be good to see them play finals, but if Dragons aren't, I really want the Dolphins to make it in their second year. That's such a big success story too. So, and then Knights move up into 10th, Raiders drop down, Broncos move up, and then the rest, who cares? No, not who cares, but yeah, not looking good. It's all overs. It's all overs. I mean, they can still make it, but come on. Unfortunately, when 7th is already on 12, Because sometimes, like, you can be, maybe only a game, but when 7th is 3 full games ahead of you with, 4 games to go, is there? Is there 4 games to go? So, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4 games to go and you're 3 games behind 7th. Ooh, not looking good. So yeah, I reckon the 8 could be locked, guys. I really do. Obviously, not definite, but I reckon there's a very good chance this goes down. Just Dolphins run home isn't horrendous. I mean, if they can get this game against the Doggies, I think it goes a really long way. But yeah, their for and against is a lot better than the teams below them, like, substantially better. So yeah, the Dolphins are in a good spot now. Dolphins in a really good spot. So they're at least fate's in their own hands. If they just win the same amount of games as the teams below them, they'll make it. They don't even have to win more. They just have to win the same amount of games as the teams below them. Their for and against is handy enough. They're fine. So at least it's in their hands. That's the main thing here, guys. All right, Storms versus the Bunnies. So yeah, it was interesting that Big Nelson started in this one, guys. Sorry, 1 second. It's just, this first game always gets me a little bit because it was such a long time ago. I have to write stuff down about it. All right. So I didn't mind Nelson starting. He was causing havoc. The only problem I have with him is then you sort of got to play him for big minutes. And obviously Bellamy's a smarter dude than I, but I feel like Nelson's really impactful for about 25. He sort of goes away after that. Just it's not his fault. He's just just a ginormous human being. Do you reckon he's the biggest in the NRL? Who would be bigger than Nelson in the NRL? Nelson, I know Paseka's pretty massive. Payne Haas would be up there. He's up there, man. He goddamn beast. But yeah, it was. So I liked him starting. He was causing chaos out there. He really was. But yeah, it sort of faded away a little bit. And yeah, I felt like the Storm were pretty good for the first half. Then it just sort of really faded and Bunnies won the second half. And yeah, Bunnies missing a lot. And yeah, just wanted to touch on Paps as well. I mean, there's a lot of talk about him leaving and all this sort of stuff. Who could he not run down? What was he? Was it Fletcher Myers? When Pappy came back from that shattered knee, then shattered ankle, I was sitting there going, everyone's talking him up how great he is and stuff, and it's a great story, and I was too, man. I love Paps. He's one of my favourites, but he is 100% down, speed-wise. Just for anyone that doesn't know, like maybe missed prime Paps, he was Reece Walsh before Reece Walsh. Like, he was scoring like 24, 25, 26 points a game. Like, he was scoring 2 tries, slotting conversions from everywhere. There was a couple of years there where he was so far ahead of second place for points scored in a year, and every time he got the ball, you're like, whoa. Like, he was that dude, and I feel like that's gone a little bit. He's still really, really good. I just don't think I had a bit of a think of it too, though. I was like, have just a few of these guys that have come into the league since he's been out, because I'm telling you now, the young kids coming through are better than the good players were when they were young kids. Just the Reece Walshes, the Hammers, those sort of guys that have sort of come through in the last. Even who's the guy behind him, Farlongos. Are they just making him look a little slower? I don't know, but he definitely looks a little down on pace. Yeah. I was just really surprised he couldn't even put a dent in Fletcher Myers. Fletcher Meyer looked like he was moving, but he wasn't. It wasn't Saab, you know what I mean? Like, if you didn't chase down Saab, I wouldn't think anything of it. Now, I was sort of struggling a little bit with this one. I'm like, we sort of had 2 mediocre performances from Melbourne in a row. Maybe last week was a bit below average. This one was about average. That was probably a fair assessment. I'm really struggling because I've sort of been watching the Storm. I put it together a cheat sheet. Actually, I've got to put that together, finish that. Put together a cheat sheet for you guys as well for your punting. So it's a Excel, Google, what do they call it? Google Sheet spreadsheet, where you can go through and just have a look to help you put your punts together. But I was having a look, and it's like the Storms, like, they haven't lost many games, and they're barely lost. And in the big games, they have pretty much stood up. Like, they have beat Penrith this year. It was the first game of the year, and that's when you want to play Penrith. If you're playing Penrith only once in the year, you want to play them in the first 4 or 5 rounds where they're working stuff out. One sec, guys. But yeah, it's a little bit funny. I can't quite get a full read on this. One of my most asked questions this weekend was, are they legit? Will they beat Penrith next week? Blah, 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 blah. And I was flipping them. I think they're much better chance this year than last year. But also, I'm not fully sold. I'm not fully sold. Melbourne are always going to finish 5th or better just because they're so consistent. But coming in the top 5, gives you a chance of winning the comp. But do they have that gear? I don't know. I'm not going to say no because I gave up doubting the Melbourne Storm in 2009 or something. But yeah, I'm not so sold. So we're really going to find out a lot against the Melbourne Storm and the Penrith Panthers game on, is it Thursday or Friday? It's going to be a cracker, but yeah, we'll have to wait. Have they got many other players out? That's what I wanted to check. So Katoa will be out for this one. Welsh is out. Coates is out. Bronson Garlic, Peasant. Yeah. Well, Tonamapia might have to find himself a new club with these 2 new young bucks. But yeah, look, I'm loving what Hayworth and Anderson are doing. It looks like I think that's elevated them from last year. I really thought they were flimsy on the outside backs and in the second row. I felt like they had a good spine, pretty good front row, good wingers, and then that second row to centre was pretty weak. But it looks nice now. It looks nice now. So I don't know. The other thing too, I don't think they look as good with Cam Munster there. I think Wishart was sort of making them play better footy. Obviously, Munster's Munster. Up until last year, he was definitely the best player in the comp. I'd say Cleary snatched that off him now, but yeah, it doesn't seem to be quite as fluid with him in the team. But it was with him being out for so long, it was always going to be a little clunky. But I don't know. When you're in a big game, it's like, who do you want in it, Munster or Wishart? Munster. It was funny, I was just watching Matty John's show this Sunday and the cheese was on it and he goes, oh man, when he first went to Melbourne I thought he was, what do you say, he was arse, but look at him now. Oh, I love cheese, he's so random. But yeah, look, I don't have an answer for you, so I really don't know. I think we're just going to find out a lot against them. Ooh, I wonder what the odds are. We got odds? Panthers pretty firm favourites there, guys. Let us know who you think's going to win next weekend, Panthers or Melbourne Storm. But yeah, it's not much to write home about this one, guys. I think there's a few players just a little down. Someone wrote in our chat now the Harry Grant fall off has to be studied. I agree, and I don't know if people remember last year he fell off a little bit at the end of the year as well. When I say fell off, I mean he wasn't at his potent best. But yeah, definitely a little down. I think he made an error on their first set or something in this game. It was pretty poor, but yeah, I think she's going to be good. She's going to be good. If I was Melbourne, honestly, I know it sounds harsh because I love him, Paps, but Paps wants to move to Sydney or whatever. I'd be letting him go, and I'd be running far longer. Where is he? Oh, he didn't make the reserves. He was on the reserves. That far Longo looks like, yeah, just him running off the back of Stefano and Nelson skittling dudes in the middle. I think they can do serious damage. Hey, we'll have a quick look at completion rate. Yeah, they're just doing enough. They're just doing enough to beat these teams. I remember there was a game, I think they played Newcastle, and they won 36-28. Never looked like losing the game. But you're just like, what the hell is going on? This is so un-Melbourne. But, yeah, missed tackles, 35. See, it's good. Everything's just good. It's just gone good. And they've got such classy players. They get it done. They've lost 4 games all season, I think. Let's have a look. They've lost 4 games all season. And I think from memory, just from putting together my punter's cheat sheet, I think the average losing margin was 5 points. So Can't really, you'd be silly to write them off, but yeah, I'm not. Someone said this as well in there. I think it was TikTok live I did during the Panthers just have another gear for the finals. I do think they do. Like, you even saw in the Parramatta game on the weekend, that last 15 minutes, they turned it up. You know, they turned it up without Fish and Dylan Edwards there. Pretty nice even. Everyone did their work. No crazy stats to write home about here, guys. But, yeah, look, they get it done. They keep travelling, and I just cannot wait for Storm versus Penny next weekend. It's going to be amazing. Titans versus the Sharkies. A lot of people had Titans in this one. But I think Brandy said it in the pre-game. He said they've been pretty down, right? And he sort of said no one's playing bad. Like, it's not like Ramian's way off, Kennedy's not playing good, Atkinson's McInnes isn't going good, and you know, like it just didn't quite look right for whatever reason. A little clunky, just didn't quite look like the Sharks of old. This is the first time since I've seen it. It all just sort of clicked, and they looked like a top 4 team for the first time. They've been a top 4 team pretty much the whole year, but they look like a top 4 team for the first time in 6 weeks. You know, and I think Jimmy Graham said it as well in one of the things. They went on a real nice run, and if you've been following me for a while, you would have seen that people were sort of questioning, can they win the comp? Well, I said, well, look, they've got a patch of games coming up. They played the Roosters, Storm and Penrith, I think in Broncos maybe even, within a 5-week period. And I said, if they can get through this 3 and 4 or whatever, or 2 and 3 with the top 3, that's a good step in the right direction. If they go all 3, they're a genuine contender. And they did win their 2 of the 3, but Jimmy sort of thinks they might have blown their wad on that month a little bit. You know, their trainings for those games were hectic. The games were hectic. They got up in them. They got up in 2 of 3. I think they lost to Penrith. I can't remember, but yeah. So maybe they have come good. Like, it was like it looked like the Sharkies again. I still wouldn't have them in the top 3 guys. To me, their ladder's pretty separate. I'd have these guys, Roosters, Storm, and Panthers in the same bracket. Then I'd probably put the Sharks, Bulldogs, Sea Eagles. I know they just lost. They probably don't deserve to be in it right now. But Cowboys in this bracket. Then I'd almost put these guys in a bracket too. So I think they're just still one out of that bracket, even though they're technically in the top 4 bracket. My brackets would go 1 through 3, 4 through 7, 8 through 11, something like that. So yeah, it's still got a long way to go, but it looked better, and they got players to come back. I've always said, if you can win a few games together with a couple of stars out, it just boosts your morale so much, because you're like, oh, and then when your stars come back, it all sort of lifts. Well, it should, if they come in seamlessly, I guess. All right, let's have a look at the team stats here, guys. Yeah, I've just written down here as well, is just Titans were due a bad game. Like, they really were. Like, Titans had been, I'd almost say, overachieving. They've been overachieving a bit. Sharks have been underachieving a bit. Sharks clicked. Titans stumbled, and it was just an arse whooping was the equal after the equal sign, you know. Both teams completed well. Khalees Haas was awful in this game, actually. He made about 4 errors in the first half and gave about 3 penalties. Plenty more run meters here. Love that. Look at those kick return meters, 234. That's the Sharkies of old. 5 line breaks. Didn't leak a line break in the game. That is nice. I did feel like the Titans played a little conservative for the start of the game. 12 offloads to 13. Let's have a look at this tackle efficiency. I thought that would have been 42 missed tackles, 21 ineffective, 35 to 16 for the Sharkies. Let's have a look at some of these Sharkies numbers. Let's see if these are Sharkies of old numbers. You know what I mean? That's how long is Ronaldo Mulatalo out? So Trindle's back next week. That's huge. Ronaldo's not back till round 26. Same as Nico. Oh, Teague Wilton's. Oh, Teague will be back next week. Okay. I think even just Mulatalo would add a lot. Look at Jesse Ramian. Look at those numbers. Having him in your super coach. 131, 1 line break assist, 2 try assists. He got a try too, didn't he? Yeah, and a try. Whew. Not bad. Not bad. Oh, come on, man. You're killing me. Oh, tackle efficiency. Yeah, Oregon Cafu's good. Tom Hazelton was great. Yeah. It was good. So who do they have next week? The Sharkies. They've got that's perfect. That's a perfect game for them. A team that's, they're going to give them some stick. They're playing for their season. Sharkies have to beat them, You can't be dropping teams like that. Now let's have a look. So Sharkies are 1 full game clear of the Bulldogs. Not only that, substantially better for and against than the Bulldogs. So, like I said, Bulldogs are going to have to win more games than the Sharkies to overtake them. They can't end on the same amount of games. So let's have a look at the Sharkies run home. Will they finish in the top 4? I think they play the Bulldogs. So they've got the Knights, then they've got the Dragons, then they've got the Warriors. Oh, then they've got, the Seagulls. The Seagulls could come from. They don't play the Bulldogs. That's massive. Absolutely massive. So, yeah, they're going to want to knock these two off. And then they got the Warriors, who aren't playing great footy. Then they got the Seagulls, who could be coming for their spot. This could be for a top 4 spot, guys. Because if we look at the ladder there, they won. Well, they're technically 1.5 games behind them. It's going to be interesting. So yeah, top 4 spots there. I'd say they have to win 3 of them. If they win 3, I'd say they stay in the top 4. And you looked at the games they're playing, they can win 3 of those. So shout out to the Sharkies, good win, get their season back on track. And just got to back it up now. There can't be a flash in the pan. They got to. I think they really need to put those Knights to the sword. Good 13+ win. Get them rolling. They can do it. Panthers versus the Storm. Just before I start on this, I want to just give Gatho a massive rap. I heard he was getting paid out so hard in this game. After this game, like laughing at him. Bro had a blinder. He could not have been better. Parramatta wouldn't have been in this position if it wasn't for him. He absolutely killed it, man. So King Gutho, someone said, can we stop calling him King Gutho now? 150 run meters. So hang on. 2 tries, 4 conversions of 6 attempts, 1 penalty goal. 150 run meters, 29 post contact, 2 try assists, 2 line breaks assists, 1 try assist, 2 tackles. So they're not in that position without Gutho. So shout out to Gutho, man. You killed it. You were awesome. Unfortunately, you had the chin standing across from you, and he don't miss. Cleary don't miss, lad. Well, he missed 1. He missed 1 from the sideline. Yeah, it's funny to be like, he started a goal kick. He kicked 1 less. He had the same amount of goals as Cleary's the best goal kicker in the comp. He had 1 less than him. Than the chin. So yeah, shout out to Gutho. I still love you, mate. Yeah. I said this. I'm about to rap Cleary. If you don't want to hear it, if you're sick of it, mute the TV. I said after the grand final in my post-game video, I said they've just created a monster. Because Nathan Cleary, after that game, knows he can come back from any situation whenever he wants. As long as it's not a stupid amount. You're obviously not going to come back 44 points in 10 minutes. But if it's 3 converted tries and there's double digits on the clock, even a little bit, you're in trouble. I know after interviews, footy players have to say, credit to the boys, and the boys backed me up, and I was just lucky, and doing all that stuff because we live in Australia. You're not allowed to say you're good at something. But he knows. He knows in his head. That's what 4 games in a row. He's just. I'm telling you, man. I said it last week. I said it again. Appreciate this. Don't wait till he's retired and go, man, how good was Cleary? He's He's murdering it. He would have got 6 from 6 Dally M points in his 4 remaining games. If Jerome Hughes goes down or like gets injured for these last few weeks, Cleary might pip him, and he had 10 weeks off. Let's see how many Dally M points Cleary's racking up right now. It's absolutely enormous. He's special, man. He's absolutely special. Brandy said it in the telecast as well. No, he didn't say it. He was in the commentary, but someone else said it. So he's been injured the last 3 years or suspended. So I remember he spear tackled, I think it was Dylan Brown or maybe Mitchell Moses. Then did his hammy last year and he's done his hammy this year or whatever it was. They're both over 5-6 weeks out, right? A lot of time players come back and they're just as good. Sometimes a little bit worse. Sometimes they look a little better. Every time Nathan Cleary's come back, he's looked substantially better because he's been working on stuff, whatever he can. He's obviously trained, like he must be a real student of the game because he comes back and looks substantially better. I remember he came back after last year and I remember I think he was on a podcast. I think it might have been YKTR or whatever those guys were called. And he said, he sort of, it was after the game, he's trying not to rap. He's like, oh man, I really need to work on my ball playing. I don't think I'm a very good ball player and stuff. I'm like, yeah, you're not. And he's like, I want to be able to ball play like Cody Walker. And when he came back, that's when he started doing the fake drop overs, there's double pumps into gaps and stuff. And I was like, it's nuts, man. It's absolutely nuts. Even if you hate Penrith, man, you got to. It's funny, I've never been Australia. I'm not saying everyone. I don't think I'm dissing Australia or anything, but a lot of people just don't watch champion. I've always been the opposite. I love it. Like I've always appreciated champion. Like I watch every LeBron, KD, and Curry game. I never miss. I will never miss a Bones Jones fight because I'm just like we're witnessing one of the greatest of all time. People are gonna be talking about this dude in 20, 30 years time, and you can be like, yeah, I never missed a fight. I watched every game. It's special, man. As far as Para went, I really thought they were good. I said it before. I don't think they're maybe a game or two ahead of, or maybe they're just one game ahead of. They've had one extra win than the Tigers this year. They're playing way better than that. They're actually playing pretty damn good footy. Individually, a lot of guys are playing really, really good. Maybe down on their absolute best, but like even reading Campbell Gillard, he was going after Fisher. This year he's dropped Fisher Harris and Moses Leota. Like that's pretty good for on your resume. So. And we're back, lads. Sorry about that. I heard something. I thought I heard someone walking in my back room there, but it was nothing. We're back. All right. Now, where were we? But yeah, look, Parramatta, they're going solid. They've got plenty to work on for next year. I have no doubt they're going to go better next year. I think new coach is going to help out a lot to clean out some of the riff-raff. And, you always have a good you're going to have a bigger, better, longer pre-season, and guys are going to be playing for their jobs, So I think I've fair hopes for them. Thought Laurie was crazy good. Brian Tall, man. Talking about greatness. He's going to go down as... I've been saying this as well. I don't think people have quite realised it yet either. He is the best winger of all time as well. You can't give him that crown yet because he's not old enough, and he's but his wing is just absorbing the lowest amount of tries I've ever seen. Few in this game, actually. Was there only one on this side? Anyway, whatever. He's not getting scored on. He scores anytime there's an opportunity to score. The meters he gets, the penalties he draws, how clutch he was in the air. Like Cleary's obviously got all the raps for that. I think there was a kick in goal. He just got it out, muscled his way out. And then I think he took another carry in that set, another 12, 13 metres and quick play the ball. And then they, last ditch effort, they boot it to Tortor's side. Everyone goes, oh, he's short, so, you can go aerial over him. Show me. Bro's like up to 150 NRL games. Show me where he's been out-jumped. Show me a highlight reel of a low light reel of Tortor getting scored on would go for about 15 seconds. Like seriously, he's so good. Like his numbers, if Penrith remain to be moderately successful, let's say Penrith win the comp this year and then they they just decline to a top 8 team that gets bounced in the finals. His numbers are going to be so much higher than the second best winger in the comp before he turns 30. It's actually ridiculous. He's a freak, man. Absolute freak. I do like how Luai and Cleary work together now. I feel like Cleary's really taken over the team. Apparently, I've said this in previous videos, but apparently coming through school and stuff, Luai was the gun. And I've always felt like Cleary diverted to Jerome a little bit too much. Like I've seen Cleary get the ball straighten, look sharp, and it was sort of like you could have ran, could have done this, and then he passes it to Luai, and Luai just does his little dance thing around and gets tackled. I'm like, I reckon Cleary would have had a better chance of just punching through that. Like Cleary's a big boy. Like that try he scored to win the game last weekend, that was props don't score those sometimes, and he's strong, man. He's very, very strong. Sorensen out for a minute in this one. They need Fish back, and they also need Liam Henry back if they're going to win the comp. I'll just put it that way. They were a bit flimsy. Flimsy is probably the wrong word. Weren't super strong through the middle. Fish obviously will help out a lot with that. I saw Eisenhuth's just like, to me, Eisenhuth's like a really good cut player, or a good fill-in middle guy off your bench. He's definitely not a starting front rower in the NRL's quality, in my opinion. Really good player. I'm not bagging him. He's not Fisher Harris. that's not negative. Not many people are. So Fish groin still to be confirmed. They're going to need Garner back too, because Sorensen went down in this one, and Liam Henry is illness. So hopefully that's not too long. Dane Laurie, head knock. Okay, I don't remember that. But yeah, just brilliant from like I've said this before. Like this is why like any team in the comp, right? Like say you've got your I don't know, Manly, Bulldogs, Sharks, whoever. If you do get to a grand final against Penrith, like that last 10 minutes of the game, if you're winning, you're just going to be like, you're going to have no fingernails left, your hairline's going to be gone. You're going to be so nervous because Cleary can just snatch it from you. It's crazy. I'm really interested to see what the stats look like in this one. 1,500 run metres for Panthers, 1,300 for the Eels. Post-contact, pretty even. I thought Parramatta's forward pack looked pretty good. I was actually really impressed with Wiremu Greg. I thought he looked really nice. Tackle breaks 27 to 43. 20 of those are probably tours. 7 line breaks to 5. How good was it to see both the Tago score as well? Parramatta, I felt like they were winning the ruck quite a bit. They were offloading a lot at the start and then sort of stopped it. Penrith started offloading at the end when they needed to. 43 missed tackles from the Eels. I reckon about 15 of those would have been in the last 15 minutes. 27, that's low. I love how low this number is all the time. They're ineffective tackles. 10 errors to 7. Yeah, a few too many for Penrith there. Yeah, look, Penrith's just... I don't see them not getting to the grand final, eh? I really don't. Alright, so... Yeah, Laurie... Shout out to Laurie too. I remember when Laurie went there, I said, I did a video on TikTok saying what a great signing for the Panthers. And I was like, whoa, he's shit. I was like, no, he's not. He's awesome. What? I didn't say he's, I didn't say he's like, I don't know, Dylan Brown or anything. I said he's a really good player. He was playing at the Tigers, man. Like not getting used properly. And, look at this. I had him in my super coach, 215 metres, 2 line breaks, 2 line break assists, 2 try assists. I mean, if Dylan Edwards did that, 10 tackle breaks, if Dylan Edwards be that, we'd be talking him up like crazy. Low key, he can play 6-2, so when Luai goes, maybe he goes in there and Blaze goes to a wing. I'm not too sure what's going to happen there, but yeah, he's a gun. I could not believe the Tigers let him go to hit to there, but at the same time I sort of do get it. But shout out to Laurie, you were awesome. Raiders Eagles, man. So Raiders were coming off a pretty tough game, short-ish turnaround, like 6 days, not 5, but 6-day turnaround. I was like, I thought the Eagles were going to come out and blitz them, but we won our punt on this one. It was so crazy. It looks like we lost it about 6 times. We ended up winning it, but Seagulls are just that team. So Seagulls are a second half team, guys. So if you take Seagulls to go over on points in the second half, you're going to win a lot of money. I mean, look at this. 43, 49, 57, 59, 61. Like, this was 12 all. It looked like we're going into the half at 12 all. Then they go, boom, score one at the 39th minute. Like, a minute till you're like, oh, okay, still, that's all right. Like, cool. Like, Raiders are still in this. Next minute, it's 46-24. Like, it was like, so it wasn't 40. It was just like, Seagulls can do this to you, man. Like, Seagulls, I said, if they get everything right, they're going to be an absolute handful. And I mean, we'll have a look at their run home, but the good thing is too, their team list is built up nicely. They've got not many injuries left. We'll go to them in a sec. But you look at the team, it's solid anyways. I thought Croker back was a huge inclusion. Shout out to Nathan Brown running off the back fence every damn game. I'm really liking this Chen Kum Tong guy. Bullymore was solid. Who was there? Carl Lawton. I was so impressed with him, man. So impressed. Doesn't look like he's got an athletic bone in his body. Killed it. But like, so we look at this is a great team list, right? So we've got, when in form, the best / equal best, one of the best wingers in the comp. Speed on the edges. Good running. I thought Dylan Brooks has been better. The captain, the orchestrator, big front row, good solid hooker, strike on an edge, solid good big bench. And then you come to their casualty ward, who they're getting back in the next few weeks. I mean, Josh Aloiai just adds more size through the middle. He's back next weekend. They're a better team. When him and Paseka are in the team together, they're nice. Then they've got Matty Lodge coming back. If he's at 80% of what he has been at his best, you're in trouble. And then Tohu Kola. Is it? How do you say his name? Totola? Tolaltu? Oh, just Cola. I'm shocking with the Islander names. So just speed and size coming back over the next week and two. So let's have a little look-see. So they're sitting in... They were my smoky for top 4. They're half a game behind the Doggies and they're 1.5 games behind the Sharkies. And like we said, they're playing the Sharkies final round. So I think... I mean, they got to play off their heads, but... Right, so we've got the Warriors next week at home, 4 Pines, Friday. Then they have the Tigers, so they could go doom. Then they get your Josh Aloiais and your Colas back for this one against the Doggies. It's at a core stadium. Doggies flying high, playing at home, so very tough game. And then, but yeah, if they do punch out these last, if they win all 4, I think they do finish in the top 4. They might be able to get away with 3, just depending on results. But all 4, they will, because if they win these 2, then they'll leapfrog the Doggies when they play the Doggies, and then they'll leapfrog the Sharks when they play the Sharks. So yeah, if they win all 4, they're top 4. They might be able to get away with top 3. Like say they drop to the Tigers, but they beat these 2, maybe something like that. But yeah, it's gonna be wild. It's crazy they're playing their final 2 games of teams just above them, so they could end up playing one of these 2 teams depending on what happens. They could end up playing one of these teams in the finals as well, so good to hit out just before it too. So huge, and they're not leaving Sydney for the rest of the year. So they just had a week off, and they went to Canberra, home, away, but still Sydney. It's a big advantage. Not much travel. Big advantage. Yeah, so they're looking nice. They're gonna be a handful. I don't think they definitely haven't given me win the comp vibes or anything like that, but they're just I just feel like they're a little better than what everyone thinks. Now, shout out to Big Papa for his 301 getting a try. Man, I reckon Ethan Strange might be the strongest. Is he 18? He's 19. He's so strong. The way he breaks tackles is just wrong for how old he is. So yeah, look, I think that's it for for Canberra. I know they can still make it, but it's just going to be hard. It's just going to be hard. The way the Raiders look like to me, unless their run's really... I think they've got a hard run home. They just look like they're going to go win-loss, win-loss. You know, like that's just how they sort of look to me. They look like a pretty good team. Yeah, but yeah, this might be just unfortunately Fogarty being out for about 3 weeks too long. If he did his hammy and he was 6 to 8 weeks or whatever, I think they'd be in the finals. I really do. They'll play real. Their 4-pack's nice, man. Right, let's see how the Seagulls have just been rolling through the middle, 1,800 metres. Really solid. Like, man, Raiders' first 39 minutes was awesome. It was really, really good. 6 line breaks to 9 line breaks. It's the thing, they can generate line breaks quite easily because they have that pace on the edges. But when they have Kohler back, oh man. Average set distance, 51 metres. That is wild. Quick play the Wolves. Missed tackles 29. Ineffectives up there a little bit, but errors 7 and 7. Penalties conceded 3. They conceded 7 penalties too. And then Tarpany got Simbin. That's right. There's a bit of chat out there. Now look, shout out to everyone braving the cold in Canberra to go watch Papa's 301 as well. Yeah, look, they were my smoky. I think they can rattle some cages. I think they need to. Man, I just think they need Aloye back, Kohler back. I just want to see Luke Brooks grab the game a little bit more. Like, just being straight up. Like, I've been more impressed with Strange this year than I have. Strange just running with purpose sometimes. Just remember the first few games of the year? Like, he was just running with purpose. I think it was even in Vegas. Brooksy was just running. Been a little bit too much pass first now, but yeah, if he can find another gear as well, I think he'll go a long way. And Lachlan Croker, to me, has to play his best footy as well. It's his first game back. I didn't think he was great, but I really like Croker. I think he's a really good player. So yeah, I think he's going to have to just go find another gear too if they want to be a genuine shot at pushing the Panthers and the Storm and stuff like that. But look at some of these numbers. Turbo, 215, 1 line break, 1 try assist, 8 tackle breaks. Man, just quietly, I think this kid here might be the best Hopewadi yet. He was so, like, he's already got a crazy highlight reel. He's 5 games into his career. He's really nice, deceptively strong. Like, he's got real narrow shoulders. He sort of looks funny when he walks because he's got the big Islander head, and he sort of walks a bit funny like that. But he hasn't grown into his body yet. He's still a young fella. But yeah, he looks real nice. I think he's going to be special. Yeah, Olakwatu looked really good on his way back. But yeah, look, man, keep out for the Seagulls. And just remember, if you're betting on the Seagulls to win the second half. They're bloody so good at it. Oh, Broncos versus the Cows. Yeah, Cows fumbled the bag in this one, guys. Cows. It was a weird game. Like, I felt Broncos scored early. I was like, cool. Still thought Cowboys were going to win. And then there was a couple try. Who was it? Yeah, Kyle Felton, Valea. I was like, hey, here we go. We're on here. And then, I don't know what happened after that. It was just weird. Like, Broncos just looked way better. It was a really strange game. I can't quite put my finger on it. What Broncos did different. Like, maybe these stats will tell us. Well, they completed about the same. Reece Walsh trying his ass off, but just completed the same. Ran for more metres, had more post contact, barely. 8 line breaks to 3. Yeah, it was just a funny game. I was sitting there thinking about what to talk about for this one. I'm like, I don't really have anything to talk about. Like, it was just a bit of an odd game. It was just, yeah, Broncos just absolutely owned the Cowboys this year. They really had. Because remember last time too, they played at Suncorp. Cowboys were looking real nice. I think they'd won 2 or 3 in a row. I think they might have been top of the ladder at that point. They were close, if not. I think they were 3 from 4 or 4 from 4 or something like that when they played the first time. And then Broncos just spanked them. Done it again. They've done it again. Absolutely massive. Yeah, let's have a look at some of these player stats here. Nothing to write home about there. I actually thought Chad played all right. But yeah, there's got to be a little switch there. I don't know if you can drop Townsend now. I think it might be too late in the year. Like, you can't be just satellite a new halfback in round 24, can you? When you the guy that's been playing all year's fit. You know, I thought Xavier Wilson was solid. He looks good. Now that Payne Haas is out, right, and they've sorted their finals hopes are gone. This nice little 4 or 5 game period will be awesome for Xavier Wilson for next year. Like, to me, he doesn't quite look like a genuine starting front rower. Like he obviously is one, but you get what I'm saying. Like, he doesn't look like a Tarpany or anything like that yet. He just looks, you know what I mean? He's obviously young and hasn't played a ton of grade yet. I think he made a couple errors, but this just starting for the Brisbane Broncos for these 4 or 5 games will really get his confidence up. He'll hold his own. He'll win some tackles. He'll put some shots on and just get ready, like, feel like a first grader. You know, if Payne Haas was fit and healthy in this and he's just coming off the bench getting 15 minutes here filling in for Payne Haas, you'd be like, you wouldn't feel like running out with that number 10 on your back for 5 games or whatever. So this game and 4 more, he'll next year he'll come at end of grade feeling like I'm a first grader. So sometimes that happens. Like, an injury can be the best thing for your club sometimes to bring someone through. Blood them for next year. Paddy Carrigan looked alright. I was probably most impressed with Blaze Mose. I've heard a lot of raps about this kid. I haven't been too bothered with him, but I thought he looked pretty good in this one. Yeah, not much. I don't have much else to say. I really don't. Shout out to Tony Staggs winning the Carl Webb medal. I thought he was I've been so impressed with Katoni the last maybe 5 to 6 weeks. He's the one guy on this list right here who can walk out and go, yeah, I held my head high. Like, I was trying to explain it to someone today. He just plays with like 100% effort. Like, every tackle's to hurt legally. Like, no dirty stuff, just hurt. Just going to hurt you. Maybe a little bit of dirty stuff, but nothing wrong with that. But yeah, shout out to the Broncos. Now let's have a quick look at the ladder now where the Cowboys sit. So they're on 28. So they're technically a win ahead of the Cows, but they still have a bye, don't they? So let's have a look at their run home. Canberra next week at home, very winnable. Then the bye, that's huge. Then they have Storm, and then Bulldogs. Bulldogs, a lot of games around, like, teams around them, eh? If they keep winning them, it's massive. And that's at Belmore. It's going to be huge. Absolutely huge. But yeah, this game here might sting them. But they'd been playing good enough up until that game to beat the Storm. So, coming off a bye as well. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be really interesting. Right, so what are they going to have to do? So there's a possible one. So they're guaranteed 2 points. So guaranteed 2 from 8. If they can jag 2, that'd be 6 points. I'll get them to 34 points. It's going to be hard to make top 4 from here. Yeah, it's going to be very hard to make the top 4. I think they might just miss out. But they could get themselves a home final. They can get themselves a home final. Yeah. Interesting. Is this refreshed? I feel like... Yeah. Anyway, shout out to the Bronchies. Dargans. Are they the Drakes? Dargans versus the Bulldogs. Man, talked up to be game of the round. Ended up, I don't know if I'm a Doggies fan, a bit of a dud game. It wasn't great. It was all right. Like I said, it was great if you're a Doggies fan. But just as like a complete neutral, I was like, it's all right. There's definitely better games over the weekend. But yeah, a lot to get excited about if you are a Doggies fan. First of all, shout out to Sele. I hope he is okay. Obviously, he had heart palpitations and couldn't get his heart rate down. That is alarming. So yeah, shout out to him first. At the end of the day, rugby league's just a game. Your health's the number one concern, man. So hopefully he's fine. Look, Bulldogs were just better. Like I sort of said this on my stream. I'll be straight up. When these guys played the first time, when was it, in round, I don't know, 6 rounds ago or something, I genuinely think the St George, I know they lost, would have won that game if Eisenhuth doesn't, if Jack Bird doesn't. I thought they were the better team. I really did. Like, not being biased, completely neutral, don't care. I thought St George looked better for that half. Jack Bird goes down, and every try the Bulldogs scored was in that channel where Eisenhuth was. So I'm like, you know what I mean? I couldn't take it too seriously. I'm like, yep, Bulldogs, you won, fair and square, not taking anything away from you. But at the same time, I don't take that win into a huge amount of consideration because when it was full strength on full strength, I felt like St George looked better. I think St George have sort of, got to make sure I'm straight here, have gotten a little better since then. But I really think the Bulldogs have got substantially better since then. They look really better, really, really good. They've fixed up a lot of stuff. There was a few things Doggies did. Like I said, not criticisms, but just like, keep an eye on this, guys. Like, Bulldogs, like up until a couple of weeks ago, had pretty much only been scoring tries off kicks. I'm like, that can't last forever. Eventually, the ball's not round. Eventually, the ball's not going to go your way, and you're going to drop games because you can't put the ball through your hands and score tries with your hands. Have to be able to score tries with your hands, not with just your feet. And I was like, that could come back to bite them, blah, blah, blah. But I think there was one try for kick. I think it was one of these Sherry ones. But the rest were just nice footy. So 3 good tries off nice footy. It's great. So, again, Bulldogs to me are just taking little steps in the right direction. Looking good. Winning game. This is a comfortable win, I guess you could call it. But, yeah, like... I'm going to hate on Reid Marnie for a minute here. I thought they looked so nice with Kurt Mann at number 9. I've been saying this. I think Kurt Mann actually... If you want to keep Reid Marnie as your hooker, sweet. But I love Kurt Mann coming on for some point in time. Just because, look, I'll tell you what Reid Marnie's good at. His effort, tackling machine, even though he gets turnstiled a few times, he is a tackling machine. Beautiful service. Like, his spiral ball off the ground is like a laser. It's probably the best I've ever seen, eh? Like, it is so good. It is so sharp. And some of the reasons that Burton and stuff get a lot of the credit for, the ball will get played, he'll just fire a laser 20 metres. Not like a real long ball, just like a long-ish. It just gets you straight to the outside so quickly. Matt Burton catches it out in front, and it almost created an overlap of one pass, which is just really hard to do. So, but what Reid Marnie lacks for me, he's great line speed too. Lead kick chase, if he is kick chasing, all that stuff, effort stuff. But one thing Reid Marnie doesn't really have is a running game, craft around the ruck. Like, he's not a crafty. I haven't seen him do anything like Wade Egan or a lot of those guys do. And, like, Kurt Mann does have a bit of that in him. So I just reckon, like, I've always liked the 2 hooker rotation. Even if one's a part-time hooker that just plays lock as well, it just gives the opposition different looks, because I think sometimes why Reid Marnie does offer a lot, but sometimes after you've been playing for 25 minutes, 30 minutes, you pick up on what they're firing a laser at them. It'd be nice, fire a laser, and then then someone comes on that has some craft around the ruck, and you're like, oh, now we've got to shot, like let's see if these markers are straight and stuff like that. I've never really seen Reid Marnie offer anything around the ruck like that. So Kurt Mann, apparently Marnie's going to be out for a while. If I know, or maybe he's not, but let's try and find the doggies. Doggies. He's not named yet. Not named yet. But yeah, I think I've always liked Kurt Mann. I think he's good. Stephen Crichton got bitten on the nose. That should be interesting to see how that plays out this week. Toby Sexbomb's just added 250, 300k to his pay. I'm not too sure how long the Sexbomb signed on for, but he has just added 250 to 300k onto his pay minimum. Especially with other if it sort of sucks, eh? Like Bulldogs give him a chance, right? I think they gave him 2 years. So this year, last year, and this year, whatever it is, you sort of you took the chance on him, and then even if he does stay at the Doggies, because other clubs are trying to get him, you have to pump his pay up pretty hard, So it does sort of suck if you're a Bulldogs fan. You're like, oh, man, we're the ones that took a risk on this kid. He was playing great at the Gold Coast Titans. Couldn't even get in the Titans team. We took a punt on him, made him good. Now we're going to have to add it, 400-500k on top of it because the Broncos and the Roosters are going to throw some coin at him. It's like, God damn it. But that's the price of success, man. It really is. But yeah, it was a really good performance. I thought Kickout was good, Preston was good, Josh Curran was a boost, and the bench just did enough. I really like this Harry Hayes guy. Apparently he's just upgraded him as well, which is good. Yeah, shout out to the Doggies, man. Let's keep getting dubs. Not great with the hands, but look at this, 2 kilometres. They were running for 1 kilometre last year. It's so good. And the other team was running for 2.2. Absolutely crazy numbers from the Doggies. 43 tackle breaks to 25, 6 line breaks to 2, 227 run metres, so I'd take 100 off that. They still outran them massively. That's the weird thing about the Doggies. Like, their pack's not big, but they're good at playing. Burton dead set saved. Like, when I say saved, I just mean like there was a couple times where Dragons pack was well on top and Burton's kicking from the 30. Goes 65 metres. And then they've got a great kick chase. Kick out. So there was one where I'm like, I think he kicked the ball from the 25 metre line. Like the Doggies made like 20, like pretty much got tackled on their try line and made, 22 metres or something. He booted it down to like the inside the opposition 20. And then Kickout's sprinting down and sort of like, he doesn't tackle him, but he just like jumps up, bumps his hips. You know what I mean? So he sort of stutter steps and then he gets tackled by someone else. I'm like, that's nuts, man. Absolutely crazy. What else we got here? Yeah, I really feel like the Dragons need to... It was funny, I was saying on my stream, I was like, I feel like they need to work to get Lomax involved more somehow. And then literally Ben Hunt kicked out to Lomax and he scored a try. So there you go. Told you. Look, it was just... This looked to me like Doggies were just the better team. Bulldogs Dragons, there's only 4 games left. How much more can they improve? Let's have a quick look at what the Doggies run home and the Dragons. So, Dragons have the Titans, which is, they're coming off a loss, but very winnable. Doggies playing, so 2 relatively tough games, but both you're in the top 8. You want to make the top 8, play in the top 8. You got to win these ones. Let's have a quick look at the Doggies run home. Dolphins, then the Warriors. This is Sean Johnson's going away game. I know the Bulldogs playing better. And also, look, Warriors got pretty robbed out of that game. If you don't think they did, whatever. Well, if you don't think they did, you're probably a Bulldogs fan. But Salmon obviously did penalise and then he got suspended for it. So clearly it was a penalty if he got suspended for it. So that could be a tougher game than what the Bulldogs think. They're not going to not show up for Shaun Johnson's final game in Auckland. So that's a big game. Then they have the Seagulls and then the Cowboys. So it's funny. They're just, for quite a while now, they've just been playing teams around them. Like, they haven't played the Roosters or Melbourne or Panthers. It's just been all the teams around them. It's odd. And they just keep knocking them down. A huge, huge, huge game. This is the first one. Oh, it's going to be such a good game. Yeah, so Bulldogs only need one to guarantee finals. They're pretty much already playing. They've got 12 wins. And then, yeah, all four would just about get them in the top four. Damn close. I think two would keep them where they are. And three would, yeah. And who was the other team we're looking at? Dragons. Let's have a look at Dragons. I don't think the Dragons can make it, eh? I think they're going to just miss out. Titans, winnable. Sharkies, yeah. Para, then Raiders. Oh, crazy, man. Absolutely crazy. I think it might be the final round of the year and we still don't know what the top 8 is exactly. You know? Nuts. All right, let's move on to the Wahs versus the Finns. This game was nuts. They lost again by scoring more tries than the opposition. Is that the third time this year? Now, I just want to give... People were bagging the Warriors. I just want to give them a quick wrap here. Look at this, right? So they're down here in 14th with 8 wins. Okay? Just off the top of my head. All right, so I just mentioned the Bulldogs game where they sort of got robbed. Not robbed, but like, let's not say robbed. Let's just say games they probably shoulda, coulda, woulda won. You know what I mean? So this game that just happened, we got the Warriors had the Bulldogs one. There was one where Coates literally had to jump over DWZ and score the try of the century to snatch the game off them with 3 seconds to go. There was, the Manly game. Oh no, they snatched that one off them. So there's 3. I know there's another one I can just think of off the top of my head. There was 4 games I can think of at the very least. We were naming them before, where, you know, they should have won, should have had. So let's add 4 wins onto their tally. That'd bring them to 12. They'll be sitting there with the Bulldogs in 5th. Warriors are not that far off. They've just let a few games slip that they should have won, and they've been beaten handily as well. But that happens. Like, you know, like Cowboys have been beaten pretty handily this year. Seagulls have been beaten pretty handily this year. Bulldogs have lost games this year. Like it happens, you know. Like, but there's been at least 3 to 4 games they actually had in the bag and it slipped. So they're not that far off. So a little bit of tinkering, a really good off season next year. I think they're fine. But yeah, they could. We could be sitting here going, wow, those Warriors sitting in 5th. You know, like they could easily be right here in 12 wins, sitting there equal with the Bulldogs. So, Wahs fans, don't give up on them Wahs. And those Dolphins, they just need it. They got it. It was always going to be hard. Warriors, I get it though. I get why people get pissed off at them. I saw people with a bit of hate on social media, and I was like, oh, they're not that far off. But I get why, because they are frustrating. Because they sit there again, same thing. Just the first 20 minutes, heaps of good field position, and they're just hitting front rowers. Like, even so, Nikora, is it Nikora? It's Nikora and Nikora. Nikora. Sorry for my Kiwi brothers, my Māori brothers, for getting that pronunciation butchered. But awesome line runner, beast. But it was never on. His collisions were with 3 dudes. Throw it out the back. Like, you have to. Man, you hit that front guy when there's a genuine mismatch or a hole. You don't throw it when he's going to collide. He's running back into 3 guys on the right. You're just going to give the bro CTE. Like, you're not crashing through that. And they hit him about 3 or 4 times in that same position. Dylan Walker did it once or twice. It's like, what are you doing? Like, that's rubbish. And then looked pretty clunky, just didn't look right. And then, again, same thing. They start playing footy at around the 60th minute mark. I'm just like, how frustrating. It was funny in our Discord chat. You know, I'm sitting there going, you know, Everyone's because I had them to score over 8 points in the second half, and everyone's going, "Oh, I don't know." I'm like, they're not going to start playing footy till the 60th minute. Boom. I was a little off. Started playing footy at the 48th minute. Like they can score tries in bunches. Like clearly, it's just I don't. And no, it's the same thing hitting Kate. Well, Kate Wall's never been a hole runner. He's not a hole runner. He's not big. He's not overly big, strong, or fast. I don't get it. Anyway. Unlucky for the Wahs. It's just been this game just sort of summed up their season, there or thereabouts, but not quite. And it's a bit unfortunate. I sort of feel bad because everyone's going to call this a failure of a season because they're sitting in 14th when really they should be in around here at worst. And you know if you finish 9th, you're just more disappointed, but you're like, oh, whatever. You know, everyone's going to be like, oh, you've game 4, you suck and blah, blah, blah. But anyway. Look, Dolphins need to be better. I thought Hammer was off. Herbie was just seriously drug test that dude. Bostock didn't get many chances because they were attacking the other side a bit more. Max Plath. I was up at Redcliffe Dolphins. What's it called? Training facility the other day with some of the coaches up there. Apparently he was just a weapon there last year. Well, you know, I would think he was playing cup or something. Like they're like, yeah, bro, he's real good. I think he was playing half or something though. But anyway, he's so good, man. He's incredible. I don't know if he's a Queenslander or not, but he'll be playing rep soon. It's well, they got the Bulldogs this weekend. Man, shout out to Sean O'Sullivan for getting out there. He'd only been on the field for a minute. Runs out there and slots a field goal. This dude here, was it Dimitrik Sifakula? Bro, looks like a handful. Apparently there's a few of these lads at the Warriors now. They're out to come through that are going to tear the game up. Absolute monster of a man. Yeah, I don't know about the Finns, man. I want them to play finals. Like I said, it's a good story. But they just keep getting these lapses. Like, it's really bizarre. Like, I'll see if we can click on their thing for next week. No, we can't do it. But they're conceding as many points as they score just about. And they're both in the 20s. I'm like, it's so weird. Like, they just can't really shut down teams entirely. I mean, they've had a couple. I think they've won a game to 0 this year, actually. But it's just a lot of this stuff, A lot of 34, 26, 28, 24. You know, there's just a lot of that going on. So, yeah, they're going to have to be better. They really are. Like I said, we had a look at their run home. It's doable. They do have the Doggies next week, which will probably be their biggest test. Like, not their biggest, but Dolphins. It's going to be big. Yeah, Dolphins. Yeah. So, this is they've actually got 3 really tough games in a row because, I mean, this is a home game, so I don't think they'll rest players, but tough game, then they've got tough game, and I know Broncos aren't travelling great, but it's a home derby, so they'll be up for it. So Dolphins, they really want to, they're going to, I'd almost say they have to beat the Doggies if they want to play finals, because I know, and I'm not saying they will, but there's a very good chance to go 0-2 here. So if I had to, there's a good chance in this last 4 they go 1-3, 1 win, 3 losses. I'm not saying they will, but there is a chance that goes down. To me, they have to beat the Doggies here. Let's just say they lose these 2 for argument's sake. Let's say they go 2-2. That will put them with 12 wins, and they'll probably just scrape in. So they're walking the tightrope. They really are. I'd say most likely they're going to go 2-2, because that's sort of how they've been going. They're going winning 1, losing 1, winning 2, losing 2, sort of thing. So yeah, to me, if the Dolphins want to just really stay in control of their destiny, they're going to have to want to beat the Bulldogs this weekend. They're really going to want to beat Bulldogs this weekend. And then there's just a little bit less pressure on the rest of the games. They go down to Melbourne, they lose it, whatever. We've got 2 very winnable games to go. If we lock these 2 off, we're in. But if they go loss, it'll almost be like, now we have to win these two and we need results to go our way too. So, yeah, it's a huge game. All right, Knights, West Tigers. Look, guys, I can't help you. I told you I missed this game. I didn't really get to see it. I saw the first 10 minutes and then I had to go to the airport, watched a couple of highlights. I watched the tries. So, yeah, I'd love to help you out a little bit more on this one, but not much to... I can't really help you out a whole heap. I just wanted to get this video done. But yeah, it was Fletcher Sharp's day. Absolute beast. Imagine if you had him in your super coach. Wonder what his fantasy points were. Let's have a look. Greg Maher ran for 233. Fletcher Sharp. Total points 74. Is that it for 4 tries? That's all you get? Damn. Callum Ponga, pretty solid stat line too. Like I said, I saw the first 10 minutes. I really liked how tough he carried the ball in his first few carries. 1 line break, 2 line break assists, 1 try assist, 7 tackle breaks. Brilliant. But yeah, just in the first 10 minutes, I thought Tigers looked pretty damn good, to be honest. But they just can't play for 80. But anyway, we'll just have a look. I'll just go through their team stats, guys, and we'll wrap this one up. Tigers complete at 92%. Wow. Run meters pretty solid from the Knights, 1,700. 5 line breaks to 3 in favour of the Knights. 33 tackle breaks to 30. Average set distance 42 metres to 39. Crazy play the ball speed. Offloads 11 to 9 in favour of the Tigers. Let's get down here to the tackle efficiency, 30 to 30. Which looks pretty high quality game. 12 errors to 8. Little high there from the Knights. 7 penalties to 8. 2 ruck infringements. Yeah, look, Knights, I mean, they're coming 10th. They can make it. They've got 10 wins. Same as they got 9 wins, sorry. So they're going to need 3 or 4. 3 minimum. 4 more than likely to make it. Because their for and against is horrendous. So yeah, let's see if they're going to do it. You let me know, guys. Let me know. All right, got Sharkies this week. I didn't really get to see how well they were playing. Sharkies haven't been crazy good. They're very good on the weekend, but you got to back it up. That's on Sunday. So winnable. The bookies don't think so, but winnable. But I'd be tipping the Sharkies. Then have the Bunnies, very winnable. Then have the Titans, winnable. Jeez, this could be for top. We could have a lot of games to make top 8, top 4 in the final round. Nuts. Absolutely nuts. How good is it? How good is rugby league, lads? Seriously. God damn. All right, let's have a little look at next week's games, guys, and we'll get the hell out of here, eh? Round 24. Right, we got the Panthers versus Storm, huge game. And then a game I just really want to watch, Eagles versus Warriors. Then, what's with the poor old Eels? Sitting down the bottom, and they've just had to play Melbourne, Penrith, and then the Roosters back. Who made the draw for the Eels this year, man? Seriously, bro. Poor dudes. It's like, he's already dead. What are you doing? Doggies, Dolphins, massive game. Cowboys versus the Raiders. I mean, that's a big game too for both teams. This is massive. Bit of a spoon bowl here. Titans versus the Dragons. The Titans fully eliminated now. 22. Well, if they win all 4 games, but pretty much. But yeah, that's essentially they could pretty much knock both teams out of number. Couldn't, like if Dragons lose, I don't think they'll make it finals, and if Titans lose, they definitely won't. So that's pretty huge too. Sharkies versus the Knights. That's a pretty big game too. Man, this is a big game of football. This round has some of the most finals implications we've ever seen. So we've got the minor premiership on the line on Thursday night. We got, and not only that, if one of these teams, let's say Storm win, how far behind and let's say the Roosters win. Oh no, they'll still be a full game behind. Then top 4 sort of home final spots on the line here. Top 8 and final spots sort of jostling for here to stay in the 8, to creep into the 8. Spoon Bowl. On both teams on absolute life support. And then top 4, if they lose, top 4 spot could be gone or close to gone, and Knights will be, I'd say, pretty gone if those. So pretty much every game's good this weekend. That's going to be awesome, guys. Cannot wait how good. All right, guys, if you made it this far, you know what this means. You're an absolute legend. Thank you all so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.